Hello.
And welcome to Film Bastards.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Welcome, people, to episode 496 of Film Bastards. I am one of your co-hosts, Mark Foster, and as ever, I am joined by
Becky Foster. Hello, everybody.
I told my manager that I was having a blood shitting day today, and his response was, "Is that the name of a Vin Diesel movie?" Blood shit, which I thought was actually very good. Ian Loring, hello.
I mean, it could be the sequel to Bloodsport that we haven't had yet. Or Bloodshot, was it called? That
No, Bloodshot, that's the thing,
Bloodshot.
yeah. And it's like, yeah, I don't know, I thought that was very quick of him.
My God, Bloodshot, the final film before the dark times.
It wasn't mine. I remember I was eating good that weekend because it was Bloodshot, The Hunt, and then literally on the Sunday, the day before the lockdown, Lottie and I went to a very sparsely attended showing of My Spy.
Yeah, I did The Hunt before it and then did Bloodshot after, so Bloodshot was my last one. A film that is only like 3 years old, yet feels like doesn't exist.
Isn't that weird? I think I want to give Bloodshot another go.
I think I do, but my overriding memory of it is Vin Diesel is in it, but I can't remember anything he does in it. However, I do remember Tony Kebbell doing a fucking great like villain dance to Psycho Killer.
Yeah.
Talking Heads, and be like, that's fucking great. That.
Yeah. I think I need to watch Bloodshot again. That film feels like it's either 3 or 10 years old.
Yeah. Or you're watching it as 3 years old and you're going, nah, this was made in 2007. Don't you fucking try and kid me, Vin.
It's the Hypnotic of its day.
It's the Hypnotic of its time. Well, what do we have? We've got a main review, but we haven't all watched it because you couldn't get Spiderman, could you?
No.
And you still haven't watched Into Spiderverse either.
I can't get through it. It's boring.
Can't get through it. You didn't get on with it. So me and Ian will be chatting Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse, the internet's greatest ever animated movie, and I've got a bunch of fucking what I've been watching, including a world collide that could shape the next like 7 months of my film watching. I will reveal more.
Okay.
That sounds good. I'm just going to say, I've got one other thing, and it was Into the Spiderverse.
Mark's coming in with some heavy lifting this week, guys.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. But I mean, like, we'll probably talk Lasso as well, won't we?
Yes, we will definitely talk Lasso. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what we've got. Also, the other we'll be chatting some trailers. There've not been many, but we'll chat some and other bits and bats. Listen to our French shows, including Gaming Landfill, Chinstroke versus Punter, Rewatch Projects, etc. And yeah, let's fucking go. What's been happening in the movie world news?
The movie world news.
Yeah, what's going on?
That was an interesting way of saying it. Just say as well, we weren't
way of wording.
We weren't
It's a
able
word
to get
mark.
to the boogeyman. We're gonna try to get to the boogeyman next week, but we don't know.
Yeah,
And we're sorry.
We'll try. At some point you will get a Boogeyman review, but it might be a little bit of a Bo's Afraid, and it'll just be when we can.
No, that's exactly. There is. I think we all want to watch Boogeyman.
Yeah, that's a good point. We all want to watch Boogeyman. None of us actually want to watch. All of us want to have watched Bo is Afraid. None of us want to watch it.
No. 2/3 of us want
All
to
right,
have watched.
2/3 of us want to have watched Bo is Afraid. None of us want to watch it. And the thing is, I want it to be good.
It's probably good. No fuckers talking about it already.
The Ari Aster in that equation suggests that it probably isn't. To be honest.
The worst thing about that movie, the worst thing that could happen to that movie, happened to that movie in the fact that it came out and everybody stopped talking about it.
Yeah.
Not much has been happening. I didn't know that a live-action version of How to Train Your Dragon was coming.
Yeah, how's that going to work? Is it just... This is the thing. I saw it with... So basically, you're just going to do just dragons like in fucking, like, Smaug in The Hobbit.
I mean, to use a more contemporary example, like Game of Thrones.
I watched that.
So
they're just going to do that. My point there is, but that's not live action. They're still animated. Stop lying.
Like, part of the magic of some of these movies is the animated element of them. Stop making live action fucking movies of shit. Leave it alone. Let them be cartoons.
No, The Rock has to respect his heritage.
Oh god, yeah, the Moana one. Wouldn't it be? Did we live action Moana?
Fuck's sake, you're joking.
Wouldn't it be funny?
No, straight up.
I would think, yeah, that would be ace. I would love that.
If I was there right now at Disney, when they're all sat around going, right, what do you do this? What is it? I would go, right, can I pitch something that would be funny? Just for shits and fucking giggles. What go? Can we cast Momoa in Moana instead of The Rock? Just for shits and giggles. It'll be funny.
I mean, aesthetically, he's closer. He has hair. Like, Maui's got, like, long curly hair. Are they going to put fucking Dwayne The Rock Johnson in a wig? Honestly, actually, I would watch that.
Actually, I hope so. And I hope it's a really bad wig. I hope they buy it from, like, a joke shop.
Yeah.
And then when The Rock's there going, what's with the wig, guys? They go, well, do you know what? It's just with the bad performance of Black Adam. Dwayne, we've had to cut the budget a little bit.
I mean, you know, I'll go back to How to Train Your Dragon in a second, but the great The Rock Stay in Your Fucking Lane tour of spring 2023 has been very, very Schadenfreudy. I've been enjoying that an awful lot.
Yeah, like you say, but I don't. The thing is, there's an element. I get why they had the idea to do the Disney ones. I don't know why they kept doing them and why they keep doing them. I still always fall back to a animated lobster singing about being under the sea is fun, whimsical, and entertaining. A live action actual lobster singing about under the sea is just fucking weird.
There's stuff you can do with cartoons that you can't get away with in live action because it just looks stupid.
But that's it. But there's nobody was sat around nobody at any point watched How to Train Your Dragon and went, do you know what? Do you know what would make this better? If they look like real dragons. I'm sorry, they look like what?
I don't need a photorealistic
There's no such thing.
Dragon. Like, it's a cute dragon. That's kind of part of the charm of the cartoon. They'll try and make it all dragony, won't they? Then it won't be cute, and then it'll lose its charm. And plus, we don't fucking need it because How to Train Your Dragon's a banger anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So the lad from the Black Phone has been cast in the lead. And Nico Parker, who Tandy Newton's daughter, who was Sarah in The Last of Us, has been cast as the female lead.
Sure.
Yeah, it is very sure. It is being written and directed by the guy who wrote and directed or co-directed the animated film, which I don't know is something, I suppose, but it is a little bit stop poking that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I feel like the lead
there we are.
character in this has got like a really stupid name, like fucking Elbow or something.
Hiccup.
Hiccup.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, Elbow, Hiccup, same basic word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Make it. I won't watch it. It's fine. I don't have to. I don't have to engage with that. I suppose. Do I? The whole remake discourse is a bit. I just don't get why. I don't get the why of it.
So on other news, strike talk. So the DGA have negotiated their deal and they've recommended that their members vote for it. Apparently the Writers Guild were very well, of course they're going to fucking do that. The DGA have different kind of aspirations, generally get paid better than the writers, so it looks like that's going to be okay. But SAG-AFTRA, the Actors Guild in the US, is telling their people to prepare to strike. So I kind of wonder what movie news we're going to get, if fucking any, for the next little while.
Yeah, it is looking a little bit, because haven't they voted to actually strike by like 97.5% or something like that? It's
I don't know. I mean, like, ChatGPT can't do all this stuff. I asked ChatGPT to tell me a story about how Super Mario Donkey punched Donkey Kong, and it said that it couldn't do it. And that's a $1 billion grossing idea.
I mean, it is, yeah. I'm annoyed that they're making How to Train Your Dragon the live action rather than that.
Yeah, How to Punch
action.
Your Donkey Kong.
Hasn't Charlie Brooker come out and said that like one of the new episodes of Black Mirror essentially is like co-written by ChatGPT?
Of course he has.
I think that was clickbaity misinterpretation. Yeah, I think so. From what I saw,
I half expect Charlie Brooker to go. I wrote it, co-wrote it with 500 grams of gorgonzola, or something. I don't know.
Because that's the thing. Black Mirror's coming back, isn't it? You'll be watching Black Mirror at the moment, aren't you, with Isabel?
Yes, yeah.
But more on that later.
They need to do another Bandersnatch, is what they need to do. That was fun.
I'm really looking forward to getting to where Bandersnatch fits into the vibe.
The vibe. Right, well, let's fucking move on then. Trailers, because...
Right.
Oh.
Brooker's encounter with ChatGPT did have a silver lining, though. In a Black Mirror-esque twist, the AI chatbot taught him what not to do in future episodes. It turns out the AI-generated script made him realise just how many episodes of the series have included a character realising, oh, I was inside a computer the whole time. So I thought, I'm just going to check out any sense of what I think a Black Mirror episode is. There's no point in having an anthology show if you can't break your own rules. So I think that's...
But that's a fair enough. That's a... Oh shit, it pointed out I'm quite repetitive.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a bit of that. It was a simulation the whole time.
Yeah. And it was all just a tech dream.
Yeah.
Yes, right. Trailers. We've got 2.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I think I've got one more than that.
What have you got, Ian?
So I've got Sympathy for the Devil.
Yeah, didn't catch that one yet.
Yeah, so this is...
Great poster, though.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and this... It basically looks like Collateral, but if Nicolas Cage was playing Tom Cruise.
Which, yeah... the thing is, the movie in my head is probably the exact movie it's going to be.
Yeah, there's a lot of... Like, they're selling the Cageisms.
Yeah.
Like, there's a very particular way that you tell someone to sit down at one point. There's a line
is
like...
it something like that going, sit down?
No, it's like, sit down! You know, like, really going for it. And then he's got a line at the end where he's... oh, God. Like, what, you ghosting me? Just like my psychiatrist Dr. Ross did. And he starts laughing at the end. And it's like, that actually felt like Cage just ad-libbing. So, I'm kind of... Yeah, I'm up for that. Joel Kinnaman is a bit of a fucking skin job for me.
Joel Kinnaman is an odd one. Because, yeah, he is a little bit of a skin job. But you kind of watch him going, you're a skin job that makes interesting choices. But you're not interesting.
He's less interesting Alexander Skarsgård.
Yes, he is. Yeah, that's perfect, actually. He is.
Yeah, so, but I mean, it looks. I'm all right. I'm down for like a low key Joel Kinnaman butting up against a very high energy, cokey Nicolas Cage.
Again, I will talk about cokey Nicolas Cage later on.
Nice. So also Expendables 4.
Didn't catch this yet. I have read that Stallone is apparently not really in this that much, the film.
He's the and.
Yeah. and it's more the Statham one.
The trailer, for the first 30 seconds, you would not know it's an Expendables film apart from the fact Statham's in it. Because it's him and Megan Fox. And it's what's going on here? And then Stallone, rings his doorbell. So, poor Charisma Carpenter, off she fucks then, I suppose. Yeah. We've got Megan Fox in it now. And it doesn't look like an Expendables film. I don't know. It looks like an action film.
Yeah.
We'll see.
From what I was reading about it, where Stallone was talking about it, and he basically admitted that they got the money together to make the Expendables 4. He had this idea about it, and then that they were going to make his film, where the idea was that it was going to be Stallone actually going up against Schwarzenegger's character.
Yeah.
In some weird, he said, we had an idea. He said, I'm not going to go into it too much, because it's not going to happen. He said, but that was the idea. But then we couldn't make the schedules line up with the way that everything bounced with the TV stuff that I've been doing, and with Jason's work that he does, with the franchise that he's involved in, and with Arnold with what he's doing. But we'd already committed to doing this movie, and we already had all these other guys on board that we just kind of did another movie. So there might be a fifth. I just don't think there's going to be.
Is that stylized? I can't see it very well from here. Is that stylized as Expendables?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
No. Yeah. But I admire the effort.
Yeah.
It's what I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, comes out in September. We'll watch the shit out of it. Yeah. Can't say the trailer did much for me.
I can imagine I'm going to watch it and go, of course I'm going to watch it, but I can't pretend that this is something the world needs.
I've only got one other, so I'll throw it to you guys.
It might be the same one that we've got. Then we've got two, I think. You get one? The final trailer for Insidious: The Red Door.
Oh, I didn't see this one yet. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Take my fucking money.
Yeah, it's going to take my money for you, isn't it, Bex?
Yeah.
I keep looking at it and going, do you know what? I will happily watch that. But the one abiding thing that I'm getting from it at the moment is I can't remember his name, so I'm just finding out. What's the name of the kid that was in the first one? Ty Simpkins. It's not
Simpkins.
Is it Ty Simpkins?
Yeah, pretty sure.
People mixed up.
Maybe.
Don't think so.
I'm watching it going, he is certainly a very handsome man, hasn't he?
Good looking boy, isn't he?
He is a good looking boy, isn't he? Because often these child actors, when they grow up and they are in anything, it's because they end up looking fucking weird.
I love though that rather than make it hot on the heels of the other ones and just recasting, just wait for him to get to the right age so we can use the same kid. I love that.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks. Yeah, I'll happily watch that. I like the fact that it basically goes, this is the last one.
I don't want it to be
It's the last one. But you always know there's a caveat in the back of unless it makes $400 million, then obviously.
Do spin-offs and shit.
Oh yeah, they're still going to do more.
Oh, because that was a bit of news.
What?
I forgot about that. There's a fucking Insidious spin-off coming.
Yeah.
Which one? What? When? Who?
Oh god, so it's Kumail Nanjiani is in it. And someone else. It's something or other, an Insidious story or something. Bear with. Oh fuck! It was on Deadline the other day. Oh god! Don't tell me I dreamed that, because that's a fucking weird dream.
Yeah.
Hang on. Let me just Insidious Kumail.
Thread, an Insidious tale.
Sorry.
Thread, an Insidious tale.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, Mandy Moore and Kumail Nanjiani, that was it. So it's being written and directed by Jeremy Slater, who did some Moon Knight. It won't continue the current story, it will instead focus on new characters. A husband and wife enlist the help of a spell to travel back in time so they can prevent the death of their young daughter. The consequences, of course, prove to be severe. James Wan is directing.
Ooh.
No, not producing. Producing.
Is there? Okay. Right. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, I'll watch watch that. The James Wan has a good ear for these things, so I'm down. And the other one we've got is Bottoms.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Really?
Yeah.
What's that then?
Well, we've both watched the trailer. Becky, could you explain what Bottoms is about? Because I can't.
Seems like it's maybe like a gay Heather's Fight Club mashup.
Yeah, so it's a bunch of gay high schoolers.
I don't think they're all gay, but I think the central characters.
The central characters
are
are. I think the central friends are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, form a fight club so that they can train each other to fight the jock boys.
I mean, that sounds all right.
Yeah. And the thing is, I'm watching it going. It's. I mean, there's a bunch of people that are probably in stuff that I don't know, but the only one I recognised is Rachel Senna, and that's it. The rest of them might be from fucking, I don't know, 31 Reasons Why and shit like that.
Kaya Gerber's in it.
I don't know who that is.
Kaya Gerber is Cindy Crawford's daughter.
Right, what would I know her from apart from
Just being a model.
dating somebody?
Isn't she going out with Timothée Chalamet?
Jovi.
No, that's the fucking annoying one out of Stranger Things. What's she called? 11 out of Stranger Things.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah, she's the one that's engaged to Bon Jovi's boy.
Right, cool. But yeah, Bottoms. The thing is, I'm
quite intrigued by it.
I'm intrigued
on a
by
story
it.
point of view, but I have the feeling the presentation's going to be insufferable.
Yeah, the trailer looks a little bit insufferable. But I find Rachel Sennett weirdly engaging.
I don't even know who she is. For you to find her so recognisable.
Her from Bodies.
Yeah.
Alright.
She's also very good in Shiver Baby.
Which I still need to watch. I've had it like to watch for like the past 2 years. It's only like 80 minutes long. I've still not got to it. Mate, if that fucking fucker had Dash Mihawk in it, they'd been watched by now.
I don't doubt it.
Oh dear.
But we're gonna get Lashes of Dashes later on.
Lashes of Dashes.
Yes.
To be fair, I kind of feel like it should be called Lashes of Dashes.
Oh wait, no. There has been a development. But we'll get to it later on.
Oh.
It's the world's colliding thing.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And the name will have changed.
Okay.
It's a little teaser. It's more work for Mark, but it's worth it.
Great.
Is that it for trailers?
That's it for the trailers.
No,
yeah.
I got one more
Go
then. So the new trailer for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem.
Oh, yeah, I think I've seen this one as well, actually, yeah.
This looks bloody brilliant.
Yeah, it looks really good, doesn't it?
Like, I mean, yeah, okay, they've absolutely done the Spiderverse animation. I love the fact that they are just voiced by kids, and they're kids.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do. Take my money.
And the thing is, weirdly, I think that across like the feature animations that they've done, and the live action films that they've done, and then the even like the more recent ones that were a few years ago, I would say that the mean hit rate of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies is actually pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's an objectively like bad one.
No.
You know, the 90s ones are fun.
Yeah.
You know, and they gave us one of Axl Rose's great moments. So I'm really looking forward to this. I just think it looks like if it hits right, it could be an absolute banger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah, that's the thing. I think you know what you're getting into with a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles property, don't you? You know, you're never going in it expecting too much. So if they're fine, they're really good in your head. If that makes sense.
It most closely looks like somebody really enjoyed the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mega Drive game.
I enjoyed that game.
We all enjoyed that game. It was magnificent.
Well, there we go.
I was literally in a retro gaming store a few weeks ago, just holding a copy of it. I'm just going,
I could though.
I could buy a Mega Drive and buy this and be playing it tonight. It would be the most unnecessary £108 I have spent. But I ain't discounting it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that might be it for trailers.
Fair.
Ian, should we review a movie?
Sorry, I was just dealing with
You're
something
still
for
there?
Lottie. Yeah, no, I'm here. Sorry, I was dealing with something for Lottie. I absolutely, Dad failed. I told her I put her iPad on charge before she went to school earlier on, and then I completely forgot to do it. To be fair, I had shit going on in work today, but still, I let her down there. I feel bad. But I suppose, I don't know, it's not the end of it's not the biggest dad fail you could do, really, is it?
If that's the worst thing you do today, I count it as a good day.
Yeah, no, it's probably fair. Yeah, let's review the
I forgot to
movie.
give my daughter lunch until about 4 p.m.
Solid. What? Your daughter can make her own lunch.
Yeah, she doesn't though.
Oh yeah, she doesn't. She fully just goes back in her mode when she gets back.
Yeah,
doesn't she?
yeah.
I think that's because she doesn't make lunch at home though. When she's at home, does she?
No, she's very thin, isn't she?
She's an
She's very,
18-year-old
very
student.
thin.
Anyway, shall we go across the Spiderverse? I'm going to use IMDb to explain what's going on because it's better than me trying to explain what was going on. But yeah, it's directed by Joaquin Dos Santos, Kemp Powers, and Justin K. Thompson, and it stars voices of people. Shamik Moore, Haley Steinfeld, who I constantly forget it's Haley Steinfeld, and sit there going, who is this again? Brian Tyree Henry, Jake Johnson, Jason Schwartzman. Is that who that was? I was not prepared for this movie. Like, at all. Miles Morales catapults across the multiverse where he encounters a team of spider people charged with protecting its very existence. When the heroes clash on how to handle a new threat, Miles must redefine what it means to be a hero. Ian, across the Spiderverse. Go on, let's engage now in being 20 minutes of us being minge-faced about a film that we both actually probably quite liked.
Yeah, and it is that. There is a massive element of people need to calm down about it. I think it's really good. Yeah. I don't think it's as good as the first one. I literally watched the first one the same day. The first one, it's its own like self-contained story. There's a beginning, middle, and end. Even though there's a little bit of a obviously there's some potential sequel stuff like later on, but it's its own thing. It's tight. It's funny. I think the score for the first one's better. The music hits, but there are great visuals through Across the Spider-Verse. None of them compare to that shot of Miles when he's he's kind of having his end of second act breakthrough moment, and he's diving down, but you see him up with the skyscrapers pointing down.
Yeah,
nothing touches that.
No, it's an incredibly it's just an incredibly well composed piece of animation. That.
Yeah. Across the Spider-Verse on its own merits. The first 15-20 minutes, I was like, holy shit, we're in for something here. The whole prologue, the fact that you don't get the titles for probably 20 minutes, I really like that. The kind of the watercolour aesthetic. Then
of Gwen's world, yeah.
Yeah, and then that Da Vinci villain guy who was all brown and just completely differently animated. This film looks like it was incredibly complex, and it's a technical triumph.
Yes.
However, I think that first 20 minutes also slightly sets us up for a bit of a fall, because then there's a lot of time setting up Miles's kind of conflicts in this. A lot of time. He's going through a very similar arc with his dad as he did in the first one.
Yeah.
There's some new stuff with his mum, which is decent. There's some interesting elements here. I think the meta aspect of the fact that the villain is a Spider-Man who's trying to protect the canon of Spider-Man films, and he's, it's like a comment on fanboys kicking off when they colour outside the margins, which I appreciate, but it's way too long. That last 15-20 minutes could have been 5 minutes very easily. And I'm more, it does a better job of selling why there should be Gwen Stacy movies than it does why there should be Miles Morales movies for me. And you can't say that of the first one. And in a way, I don't have a problem with that, because I think Gwen Stacy, I think Haley Steinfeld is terrific in this.
Yeah.
And her, it just, that opening 20 minutes is setting you up for some Gwen Stacy, and then you've got like 45 minutes of, he's a hero, but he's got problems because he has to balance his personal life and his hero life. Yeah, all right, tell me another we're gonna do that again, are we? And then the film comments on how all you're being fed is like these stories that kind of like have the same beats in them, and there's that little bit of Lord and Miller ever so slightly liking the smell of their own farts with this one, which they both co-wrote this one. I think only one of
that, like the fact that there's an extended Lego scene.
Exactly. But I don't know. I liked the Spot.
The Spot's great. It's a great character.
It's a great character. The animation's terrific.
Yeah, his turmoil and his inner, he's essentially inner monologuing to himself is really fun.
Yeah, and Jason Schwartzman understands the assignment. What do you think?
Agree. I think the opening is very strong. It sets itself out as this. If what you're going to get is actually a Gwen Stacy movie rather than a Gwen Stacy Spider-Man movie, rather than a Miles Morales or a Peter Parker Spider-Man movie. And like you say, it blows all the air at this balloon, and then like just starts letting it out really fucking slowly as you're there going, hang on a minute, this isn't as interesting as what we were just watching. But at the same time, it's visually really fucking interesting to look at, and really it's really imaginative to look at. It looks fantastic. There's all these things going on, but the problem is it ends up where you start to get a little bit of sensory fatigue to it, or I did anyway, where all these things that were happening are really impressive and look really good, but you're putting too much out there. You're like it's like a comedian just throwing so many jokes out there that the ones that are actually funny are getting diluted by the ones that aren't that funny, and so it starts to become a little bit like, what else do you have? Because the story at the moment isn't that great, and I'm kind of getting tired of the fucking visuals, and I want you to do something else now.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing with all this multiverse stuff is it kind of almost feels like it helps perpetuate its life in internet articles where it's 500 things you missed in across the Spiderverse. The films feel like they're being informed by how much of a tale they can have after through Easter eggy kind of stuff. It reminds me of Jason Reitman, go fuck yourself, saying, Ghostbusters Afterlife is a great Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
And the film is better when it's trying to tell its story instead of where it's going, look at this, joke.
Yeah, absolutely. It is so much better. I do think the middle section, I think is again taking away how technically marvelous it is. I think it's quite bland. I think it's quite boring at points, and I was struggling, and not just because I was really tired, but just in general, I was watching, going, if you're going to be a 2.5 hour animated PG Spider-Man movie, you need to be doing more than this.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like you there's not a section I think you could maybe take out of it, but you could trim down every bit of it by maybe 10% and have a movie that's an hour 40 that is better.
Honestly, towards the end there, where it's like Miles has been tied up by the Prowler, and he's saying, "Oh, you don't have to do this," and then it's like, okay, well, he's not the Prowler. Alternate Miles is going to be the Prowler. Let's just get on with it, and it's building, and it's building, and it's built, and it's going like this is a terrific cliffhanger. Well, no, it's not really, because I don't feel like there's any real danger here, because you see him about to do the Venom-y power shit, and also Haley Steinfeld and the rest of the Spider crew are going to come save the day. I mean, my question now is, what is the next film?
Well, the next film is them probably breaking him out of that at the very beginning from the Prowler, and then being hunted down by Miguel Spider-Man.
Miguel
He may as well be
Spiderman.
called. He may as well be called Miguel Spiderman. I've got to say as well, people have been like talking about Oscar Isaac's performance. Nah, mate, he just sounded fucking tired.
I like Daniel Kaluuya as
He was great.
The more time we spent with Peter Parker, Jake Johnson's Peter Parker on screen, the more I was starting to dislike the first movie.
It is weird how one trick his character is in this.
Yeah.
Now he's a dad who's obsessed with his kid.
Yeah.
You got anything else? Not really.
I will say I have a mild disagreement with you on one thing there.
Oh yeah.
I thought the score for this was fucking incredible. Possibly, I said to Vex, look, it's a good movie. It has its problems. However, the score might be for me a fucking all-timer.
It's Pemberton. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's bad. It's just,
isn't it?
for me, Into the Spider-Verse has got a bit of an all-timer score.
So I think I need to rewatch Into the Spiderverse as well, and come back to one of that. But I mean, and I'm sure it is good because Pemberton. And the thing is, I didn't know it was Pemberton, but instantly within like a couple of minutes, I was like, "This is Pemberton, isn't it?" Yeah, I'm sure he did the first one. This is fucking brilliant. The opening bit with the fucking drums for the Gwen Stacy bit.
Oh, that was great.
It's just, and then the fact that it continues around that, it's just such a fucking interesting and boombastic fucking score from somebody who I just don't think gets anywhere near the credit that he fucking should for how good he is.
Honestly, that opening 20 minutes is pretty like jaw-dropping shit across the board for me.
Yeah, and it is definitely. And I think the score and the using the score as kind of a to get the adrenaline fucking going for you as you're watching it is a really the film is not making any bones of the fact that that's what it's fucking doing. The film is doing it. It's such an interesting bit. The thing is, I think it's one of those where. When I watch it again, and I will watch it again because it looks fantastic as well. It's either going to go up and I'm going to go, yeah, it's been a miserable swat, or it's going to start to go down a little bit and go, that does not need to be that long. And the weird thing was, there was a kid in my audience who, I think it was the opposite. I think it was a guy brought his kid because he wanted to see it. And the kid was fucking not into it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But then there was a guy behind me who had brought 2 fucking kids, and clearly he was not into it because his kids kept saying stuff to each other, and all I could kind of hear was this guy kind of grumbling, going, "Which they're all just Spider-Man." And got a great one of the kids, and not in like a fun way, actually turned around, and the guy wasn't being loud. There was no complaint about it. He wasn't being like obnoxiously loud or funny or anything like that. I could only hear him. He was sat like 2 seats behind me.
Yeah.
One of the kids turned up and went, "Dad, you've got to be quiet. Shut up." I thought, fucking hell, kid, he won't even be loud.
So should they have just talked to children?
Possibly, yeah. Because the other kid that was with the guy, he had no inside voice at all. And at one point during like a big fucking like moment within the movie, he turned around to his dad and went, "I have a sticky hand."
Good.
Wow.
Which kind of made everybody just laugh. And this guy kind of die inside because everyone was laughing about his kid's sticky hand. But yeah, that's the thing. If you're watching, this is a PG movie. I don't mind. I enjoy it when fucking kids are fucking into movies at the cinema. I think it's fucking great if I go to see what ostensibly is a kids movie and they are fucking loving it. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's a cinematic experience for me. Yeah. And the 2 kids that were sat behind me were well into it.
Oh.
I like it. Just already people are talking like it should be nominated for Best Picture and whatnot. It's like, no, come on.
Calm the fuck down.
It's like, look, there's definitely like Best Animated Feature. I think it's already got it wrapped up. And you know,
unless Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is
that'd be great.
Absolute banger.
Yeah,
that would be great. But I mean, it's like the new Pixar Elemental is supposed to be decent, and that's about all she told.
Yeah, it's one of those now, isn't it, where it's a bit like Pixar stood there thinking it's about to get the Oscar, and then fucking Spiderman across Spiderverse is just going to swoop in and go, "I'll have that, thank you very much, Grandpa."
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, like, Into the Spider-Verse won the animated feature Oscar, which was a bit of a surprise at the time, you know. But it feels like now it's going to be this one is going to be the one to beat. Yeah. Because people love it. It's made a lot of money, and it genuinely is an impressive technical achievement.
You could see a world. I don't think it's going to happen, but you could see an argument for people saying, "Hang on a minute, why aren't these guys been nominated for Best Director?"
Yeah. I mean, exactly.
Because it's, and I'm not saying that I necessarily agree with them being nominated for it, but it's a heck of an achievement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. I wish I liked it more.
Yeah, I wish it. I just wish it was 20 minutes shorter. It doesn't need to be this long. It just doesn't. And that's the problem. And I do feel a little bit like I say this about so many movies, but genuinely, this movie, there's a little bit of a sense of less is more.
Yeah.
It's fair.
With this, you know, the bit from where Miles comes back into it to the bit where Miles starts going into the Spiderverse. There is way too much in that. Across the movie, Miles nearly tells his parents that he's Spider-Man. Actually, no, we get Spider-Man of different variants nearly telling their parents that they're Spider-Man. I think it's 4 or 5 times in this movie, and it's just you're there going. I was to the point of where at the end when he does tell his mum he's Spider-Man, but he's not, is he? Because there is no Spider-Man in that world. When he actually does that, my brain was going, if anything happens that means he can't tell them, I am getting up and walking out, because you need to stop doing this. It's getting annoying now. And it didn't. I was like, oh, that's what it is. All right, I'll let you get away with a technicality on this, you pricks. but only because I'm really enjoying the score.
Yeah, but hey, look, I mean, it definitely not shit. That's the thing.
Shit.
It just
4 out of 5 movie. It's a really good movie, but people need to calm down.
The first one was in my top 5 of that year. I would be stunned if this troubled my top 10 unless on rewatch I have a come to Jesus moment, and I don't think that will happen. It is just too long, and I think you're right. There is a bit of a less is more, and just I'm pretty fucking done with multiverses.
Yeah, I'm in hard agreement with you on that. It's the thing is, I found it genuinely not interesting or anything like that. I found it boring when they were walking through the spider lobby.
Spider lobby.
Of all the different Spider-Man. I wasn't there going, ooh, that's Blast Spider-Man, or oh, look at that Spider-Man, or look at that Spider-Man. I was there going, I get it. There's loads of fucking spider people. Can we just fucking move on to telling a story?
Yep.
You know, when you said, I really liked it, but I wish I liked it more. It doesn't sound like you really liked it.
But I did. That's the problem. But it's almost like one of those people who is just genuinely funny until they try and be funny and then they're painfully unfunny.
Oh, okay.
That's what this is like.
Yeah, that doesn't sound great.
Yeah. But definitely not shit.
Mm-hmm.
Colour me unconvinced.
I'm going to go back and rewatch Into Spiderverse.
Cool.
And and it just that film fucking sings. It still does for me. But hey,
our audience poll, 67% definitely not shit.
it's less than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
Wow.
touching
Okay.
cough 11% and shit 22%.
CS3P Combat. Player 1, choose your character.
Tired of film and television podcasts where the hosts exist in a blissful state of agreement?
Instructor. Player 2, choose your character.
Well, you're in luck.
Punter. Round 1, fight!
Allow me to introduce you to the Chinstroker vs. Punter podcast, featuring 2 film and television fans from Birmingham, England, who enjoy their media in very different ways.
But anyway, that brings us to the end of the plot of Blue Velvet.
The plot. I mean, the main characters are 2 of the dullest main characters I have ever encountered in any film.
So join us as we catch up on what we've been watching from our own very different perspectives.
Double KO. Round 2, fight!
You can find us at csvsp.libsyn.com, also on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, all the places that podcasts can be found.
Just really
It's not visually striking.
No.
Just getting confirmation.
It's just in That's the 3rd time, though. I mean, is this on?
Bex, what have you been watching? Because we've just talked a lot.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, not an awful lot.
Well, you've just said you were watching Black of the Mirrors.
I did watch Black of the Mirrors, so so I'll start with the one movie that I've watched on my own because we'll do the other ones together. But I decided to watch The Ritual, the Kingcast podcast that I listen to. One of the presenters on there is always banging on about the creature design in The Ritual, so I thought, do you know what? Fuck it.
You really like this one, didn't you, Ian?
Yeah, this is the fucking Rafe Spall.
Yeah.
Going for a walk in the woods and shit going wrong.
Yeah, and then obviously, like Mark mentioned to me about your little walking holiday, so I thought, I'll watch this and see if it'll sufficiently scare him before he goes.
Nice.
Which I think it would. Might make him watch it. I just really didn't fucking vibe with this film at all. I thought the creature design was fine, but like unfocused, I guess. Just looked like a mishmash of things. Oh my god, what if it's got a mouth, but then in the mouth it's got a face, and then that face has got arms sticking out of it? Ugh. Yeah, that'd be creepy. And it just ended up being not.
I think I know her.
Good. Yep, sorry.
the main character's he's just kind of a dick, and there's not really much of a redemption arc there for him. He just continues to be a bit of a dick, but then survives, I think. And everybody's dead, Dave. So yeah.
I do feel like there's a letterbox list that you could call Everybody's Dead Day, which is movies where everybody ends up dead.
Yeah. So yeah,
good list.
I don't think it built the tension sufficiently for me anyway. Like, I just didn't vibe with it.
All right.
But you might like it. It might give you some, like, nightmares before you go to fucking Snowdon or wherever it is.
Look, should we do the films that we watched together? Because he's only got one of the film that he watched.
I know I've already talked about it. It was in the Spiderverse. It fucking bangs. So you guys have at it.
Yeah, well, if I do the TV shit that I watched.
Yeah, TV stuff, yeah.
So I watched the end of season 1 of No. Got to the end of that. Really does properly ramp up in the last episode, to be fair. And I've watched some of the new series, which...
What one's this again? Is this the one you were talking about that sounded a bit Twin Peaks-y, or am I talking out my arse?
The one that we said sounded a bit losty.
Losty. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, with Mercutio off of Romeo.
The town, they're stuck in the town, and whenever they try to get out, they can't get out of the town.
Yeah. And
yeah,
then,
okay.
So they decide to try and essentially build like a radio tower at the highest point in the town to see if they can contact anybody. Because obviously they don't know where in the country they are, because they've all entered the town from different geographical locations. So they don't know where the fuck they are, but they decide it's worth giving it a go rather than just like try to live their lives and getting picked off gradually by these things that live in the woods. And then so they build the tower, anger the monsters, get attacked. Harold Perrineau, meanwhile, has gone off with someone else in the village that's been getting like messages from the creatures, like telepathic messages from the creatures telling her, "Oh, if you do this, then we'll let you all go. Ooh, if you kill this person, we'll let you all go." Blah blah blah. So they've gone off to try and sort of see how far they can get, basically, through the forest, taking one of the talismans that protect them from getting attacked from the creatures. So that they can like find an enclosed space and not get murderized on a night, and then just keep going, because you can't get out of the town on the woods, but nobody's tried through the forest because they don't want to get attacked by the things that live in the forest. And then they do get attacked again, and okay, so this is it makes it sound really babyish, but there's trees that have got holes in them that one of the characters, because he's been there since he was a child, he refers to them as faraway trees, and you climb into them and you end up somewhere completely different, but you don't know where you're going to end up. And it's not like if you go into the same tree, you'll always end up in the same place. So like if someone follows someone else into it, they're not going to end up in the same places. So they're getting chased, and Harold Perrineau jumps into one of these faraway trees, and then when he kind of flicks his lighter on, he's essentially just in like a brick hole in the ground with no way out, which is just like shoulder width, so you can't even like, there's no room to move. So that's how it ends for him. And then how it ends season 1 in general is like a random bus pulls up that has obviously got trapped in the town as well, but newbies, so it's obviously introducing new characters from there. So yeah, little bit baggy in the middle, season 1, but only a little bit baggy, like not lose your interest baggy at all. And then finishes really strong. So yeah, would definitely recommend if you want something a bit creepy, Twin Peaksy, Losty kind of twisty turny vibe. And then I've been watching Black Mirror. So I watched the trailer for the new series. Which, have you watched this, Ian? Have you watched the trailer?
No, not yet. No.
Because it's billing it as 5 new films from Charlton Brooker. So I don't know whether they're doing them more as like feature length joint.
It's starting to
for this
become
one.
kind of feature.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are essentially films without being called films. It's like he hasn't got the confidence in his own work to actually build them as films.
I don't think Shia Brooker lacks confidence in his own work.
But I don't think
You
he
call
wants
it a
them to be-
Netflix. You call it a Netflix series. It will get more eyeballs than if you call it a Netflix film.
Yeah, yeah,
Damning indictment of things, but yeah.
definitely. Yeah, yeah. The fact that there'll be people that are happy to sit through like a 3-hour episode of Stranger Things but wouldn't sit down and watch a film is bizarre.
Yep.
But yeah, the trailer for the new ones looks really good, and I was like, oh, do you know what? I'm quite excited for this. Got some good cast shit going on. And then I was having a look at the list of episodes on Wikipedia. I was like, do you know what? There's quite a few in the recent series that I've not watched. So I decided to go back and do a bit of a mop up, starting obviously with White Christmas because it's my favourite. And then I've just been working through. So White Christmas was the special that was at the end of season 2. So I've done the 3 that are in season 2. The one with Donald Gleason's really fucking sad. That's the one where he dies and she gets like an AI version of him.
Yeah.
And then White Bear's fine. I know it's a lot of people rave about White Bear, but it's fine. Waldo is shit. It's just boring. And then me and Isabel have just watched Nosedive.
Is that the Bryce Dallas Howard one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said to Isabel, I don't like this one. We might skip that. And she was like, oh, I really like Nosedive. So we watched it. And now she really hates it as well. It's just shit, isn't Nosedive? It's crap.
Okay.
Which one's the Wyatt Russell one?
Playtest. So we've just watched Playtest as well this afternoon.
That one kind of
Playtest.
fucking slaps.
Yeah,
How's that?
yeah. It is an apps. I was really worried that I was going to watch it and be like, actually, it's not as good as I remember. But it's just so good, and the ending of it, where you find out that everything has just been like a brain fart because he turned his phone back on and it interfered with the upload of the software into his brain and he died straight away.
Yeah.
It's such a gut punch. It's great. And then we've just started Shut Up and Dance, which is the like kiddie porn, masturbating, blackmaily one, isn't it? So
Don't know.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so living the dream. Gonna work through those. There's ones I've watched, there's ones I haven't. I'll probably skip San Junipero because I've watched that quite a lot. I'll probably skip Striking Vipers because I can't just watch that white noise of a human for the amount of time that episode.
Who's that then?
Anthony Mackie.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Just can't do it. And yeah, and then I'll be all ready by June 15th to watch Series 6. So that's what
Nice.
I've been doing with my time.
Legit. So what have we been watching, Bex? What did we watch? We tipsy watched Ghostbusters, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, yeah. 2016 Ghostbusters.
2016
Don't get angry, Ian.
Ghostbusters, yeah. Why did we have to pause 2016's Ghostbusters?
Because you had to go get apple pie.
Yeah. So we'd gone to pick Isabel up, and we'd gone out for our 20th wedding anniversary, hadn't we?
Yes.
So we're in Liverpool.
Yes.
And we'd had a few drinks, had some food, hadn't we? We'd gone and played golf.
Yes.
And then we had a few more
To
drinks.
clarify, not like boring old person golf,
No.
like proper,
Fun golf.
like crazy golf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With neon and dildos.
There is dildos, actually, yeah.
And then we went back to the hotel, didn't we? And
Yeah.
you insisted we get a Macca's on the way back.
I didn't insist, we both agreed that we were going to Macca's.
I think you insisted. And then we'd finished said Macca's, hadn't we, whilst watching Ghostbusters. And then you insisted at that point that I had to go back out to get you an apple pie.
Two apple pies.
2 apple pies, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
My feet hurt. I did offer to come with you.
You offered to come with me by saying, I'll come with you, and then shook your head at me.
Did I?
Yeah, I still really like the Ghostbusters 2016 film.
Girl
Oh, you're
Ghostbusters
right.
is great.
It's great.
It's fun.
I will say something though.
Go on.
Now I know that Kate McKinnon is a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
That one trick started to annoy me in this rewatch of this.
Oh, wow.
Whereas I'd always thought she was really good at this, and the thing is, I watched it going, it's all she's got though. She's not actually funny.
It works in this though.
No, it works in this, and again, until you realise that that's all she's got. So it's not the character isn't there. She's just kind of playing it up, and then you realise, oh, you're not as funny as the other two comedians in this. You're just making weird faces. And it started to distract me a little bit.
I don't know, I don't mind her in this at all. I think it works for the type of character she is playing.
But Melissa McCarthy is fantastic in it.
Yeah, so is Kristen Wiig though as well.
Kristen Wiig's very good in it, but Melissa McCarthy I think is the I think people didn't realise just how fucking funny she is in it. The wontons bit and the soup.
Yeah. I tell you who is a standout in this.
What?
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, he's great.
He's so funny as the himbo.
Yeah.
But do you know what? No one ever mentions
the interview where he pushes his glasses, where he rubs his eyes through his glasses.
Yeah. And I think like Leslie Jones gets lost in the mix a bit on this because
She's got some great lines.
she really does. Yeah, like on rewatch, I was like, do you know what? We've all just been sleeping on Leslie Jones. It's not fair, really.
Yeah, she's probably got she's got the least amount of comedy moments, but the highest amount of just, that's a fucking great line delivery moments within it. And it's the subtle late lines
Yeah.
that are great in it. Yeah. What else did we watch? I'm going to use that to lead into my dash watches.
Okay.
I knew I was missing one. So we've gone with that one.
Yeah, so I think we mentioned last week that we would quite like to rewatch Beetlejuice off the back of the news that the sequel's coming out.
Yes.
Beetlejuice is one of those films that I think when I've not watched it recently, I think, loads of people really like it, but it's probably a bit shit. It's just fun because of the content.
No.
It's really, really fucking good.
Really good movie.
Everyone is turning in like A-star performances in this film. And I don't like him now, but Tim Burton did some really good work at the start of his career, and this falls within that category. I don't think there's any dropped threads that you could like pick at with this. I think it's just a perfect movie.
It gets its shit done and gets the fuck out in 90 minutes. And has just an absolute just fucking charisma bottled performance from Michael Keaton.
Yeah, he's so good in this.
Yeah.
Like he fully commits to the bit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he absolutely does. Catherine O'Hara in this might go down as one of my early crushes.
Yeah, that's fair.
I
love that you were watching this as a younger person and crushing on Catherine O'Hara rather than Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
Love that for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even Gina Davis is probably closer age-wise.
I mean, okay, fuck you.
You do love an older woman.
Yeah, it's fucking brilliant. It's Beetlejuice. It's just mad how much fun and how innovative and how imaginative that movie fucking is.
That's the thing, and I think it manages to be sort of funny and sweet and also quite dark and upsetting at points. Like it just does it all very well. It doesn't coddle its audience by going, oh well no, because this is very colourful and funny and stuff, so it's probably going to be watched by children, so we should probably not put that much dark stuff in it. It just fucking goes for it.
What else did we watch?
Why are you making me do them all?
Because I've got more other bits to watch to talk about.
So I can't remember why we both decided, essentially simultaneously, that we wanted to watch this.
Yeah, we both kind of suggested it at the same time, didn't we? Separately, I had no outstanding. Well, no, I had one outstanding thing for it.
Is Dash Mihawk in it?
Dash Mihawk's in it, yeah.
So we watched I Am Legend, a film that I've watched relatively recently, but you couldn't really remember, could you?
No, I don't think I've watched it since the cinema.
Yeah. So it was quite nice to watch it with someone that was like surprised by the surprising stuff.
I could remember nothing about it other than he's in a city. Literally nothing else at all. Let's say it was a cinema I would have to watch that at.
Yeah. I don't necessarily think Will Smith is the ideal choice for the casting for the main character.
Hard disagree. Think he's fantastic in this.
I think he's fantastic in it, but I don't think he sells the kind of descent into madness very well.
I disagree.
That's fine.
I think the brilliant thing that he does is he sells the. He's just racked with an amount of guilt that he thinks this whole thing's his fault, and he's just had, the fucking the bit after his dog dies, and he's just in the video rental store, just trying to get that mannequin to talk to me, even though he knows the mannequin can't talk to him, and it's just the last kind of personal link he had to anything. The last remaining shred of the thing that kept him fucking sane was these fake conversations he could have with his dog.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be that he's been there for 3 years. 3 years is a long time to be on your own. That he still had that, and there's other bits of what the dog meant to him, etc., and bits like that. It was the last link to his family. To have that taken away, and now he's got nothing but these imaginary things that he's just saying can't. It's not even that the mannequin can't talk to me, it's that he can't engage with these mannequins like he did with the dog. He engaged with the mannequins through the dog. It was a joke he had with the dog.
Yeah.
It was a way to kind of repopulate the world for themselves there. When it's not that, it's just him. He can't do that.
Yeah.
And I genuinely think he's fantastic at that. That bit is heartbreaking for that. And then you get where there's somebody else there, and he seems like somebody who, previous to all of this, would be great with people.
Yeah.
Wasn't like a socially awkward person, but he can't quite. He wants to engage the person. He's glad that people are there, but he's also had 3 years on his own, and he can't quite remember. He can't quite level himself. I was very impressed by it. I do think you're right. I do think the alternative ending is better.
Yeah, so I mentioned something about halfway through about the alternative ending, and Mark was like, I can't even remember the actual ending, so don't say anything about the alternative ending to me at this point. So immediately after the movie, I showed you it, didn't I? Yeah, and the whole idea that essentially,
he's
the boogeyman.
He's the boogeyman.
Yeah.
And Dash Mihawk is just wants his fucking wants his missus back.
And they have a well, they might be monsters, but they have this well-rounded inner life, and they have familial connections, and they have a society and stuff like that, and he's just essentially kidnapping them, experimenting on them, and killing them. Yeah,
it's a really, really interesting for where the fuck this sequel's going, with the fact that it comes from the alternative ending.
Yeah. I think they're gonna have to release the normal, the proper version, re-edit it and release it with the alternative ending.
They'll work something out. They'll work something out.
But yeah, I'm really keen for the sequel.
I had to watch this. I think I was meek on it when I first watched it, and I really enjoyed it on this rewatch. I was quite taken with it.
I'm gonna be reading the old bookie book.
Yeah. We didn't. Yeah, you didn't finish this, did you? I did. Another Dash Mihawk movie. Ron Shelton's David Ayer written from a story by James Elroy, Dark Blue.
Right. I started watching this week. That's fucking bizarre.
Oh, I won't go too far away. It's a very good movie of this kind, of a
that's
crime.
So fucking weird.
Yeah. Do you know why it was?
It's on Amazon Prime, isn't it? I downloaded it on Amazon Prime, and I started watching it, and I when we were away, and I haven't finished it yet.
Yeah, well, finish it, and we'll chat about it.
James Elroy off of Black Dahlia.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Because don't worry, I've got more Dash.
Is this leading into Worlds Colliding?
It is leading to Worlds Colliding.
Sweet.
Yes. So we're not quite there, but worlds will collide shortly. I rewatched Basic, the John McTiernan movie, which stars John Travolta, Connie Nielsen, Samuel L. Jackson, Giovanni Ribisi, Ty Diggs, Harry Connick Jr. and Dash Mihawk.
You're fucking eating well with this watching shit during your lunch break, aren't you? It's something.
So Basic is... John Travolta is a DEA agent who gets called in by the Navy SEALs, because he used to be a Navy SEAL as well, to investigate essentially like the murder of Samuel L. Jackson's character, Sergeant West, who'd taken his elite team that he trains on manoeuvres during a fucking hurricane. And shit had gone wrong, and people had been killed. And so you've got like this part action film, but part like it's like investigatory thriller at the same time. Of Travolta he was kind of in a zone in the early noughties, Travolta, where he hadn't quite sort of like gone full fucking Travolta, where he got a little bit too high on the smell of his own fart, but he was getting there. But there was some fucking just great movies that he made in this period between like Pulp Fiction and kind of towards the late noughties.
Oh, I've just realised what film this is. I fucking love this film.
Yeah. And he's really good at. There's a bit where he's essentially interrogating this guy who is refusing to talk
at all. And
he just literally just like lays down in front of him with his leg up to chat to him, and it's just, you watch it going, this is the most John Travolta thing that has ever happened. It's quite brilliant. Very much enjoyed it. It's a fun watch. It's not a great film, but it's a great one of these films.
It is a great film.
Yeah. It's just a good midweek watch.
Yeah, definitely.
So you had a good time with that. And then moving into my final dash, this is where worlds collided.
Okay.
Right. So I watched...
I'm excited. I'm a little bit nervous.
I watched 2011's Trespass. Right? Mm-hmm. Joel Schumacher film.
Yeah.
Starring Nick Cage.
You're not going to watch every Michael F. Fassbender film, are you?
Okay, it gets better than that, Ian. Don't worry.
Okay.
To fucking blow everyone's minds.
Yeah.
She's got Nick Cage, Nicole Kidman, Ben Mendelsohn. Of course, Dash Mihawk is there, who just constantly gets referred to as the big guy.
Yes.
And it's got everyone's favourite. Yep. Cam Gidandier, isn't it?
Oh, fuck.
So
Yep.
I've evolved it. It's no longer Dash Mihawk, we hardly knew her, and I'm going to watch all of Dash Mihawk's movies. No. I'm going to watch all of Dash Mihawk's movies by the end of this year, and I'm also going to watch all of Cam Gudandit's movies by the end of this year. And I'm calling it Dash Cam!
Fuck.
Oh, fuck. You are weird.
At least one
Oh, well done.
Cam movie, and at least one Dash movie,
Oh,
at least
God.
every week, Dash Cam.
Fair.
So,
Let's restart the Patreon. That could be a £10 tier. Fucking hell.
Yep. So,
Dash Cam.
right, Trespass. I think that we've all slept on Trespass a little bit. Because I remember watching this back in the day. And it wasn't that great.
No.
Right? So, nobody has ever compared these two movies. So, you know when in Shawshank Redemption, when Andy Dufresne, anytime he gets annoyed, his voice takes on this separate, like, this almost like, when he gets annoyed, it's usually with, what's his name? The guy who wants to fuck him.
Yeah.
That guy. And he gets on this really this disdain and this almost fucking like angry sort of licoricey fucking voice that he gets where he just hates him.
Yeah.
Like, Nick Cage is basically doing that voice, but like he's full of cocaine and has a cold at the same time, but also doing that Andy Dufresne voice.
Nice.
And that is his entire energy throughout this movie.
Love that.
And then you've got Ben Mendelsohn, Cam Gdange, Dash Mihawk, and a female of some description who is just basically just a crackhead. Coming up with the most convoluted plot for why they're trying to rob him. There. And it's just fucking bizarre. It's really, really strange. And you're watching it going, right.
Is Dash the large, intimidating man named Ty that's mentioned in the...
He's just get called the big guy all the time. Okay. It's great. He's there, he's part of the crew, but he's not. He's essentially there to watch them, and all he wants to do is fucking shoot Nick Cage. You've got a whole subplot about the fact that Ben Mendelsohn is angry with Nicole Kidman because they're a couple and they've broken into their house to try and get these diamonds that are there.
Yeah.
But Ben Mendelsohn's character is angry because his little brother, played by everyone's favourite, has been having an affair with Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
And they think that that's this great leverage that they've got, that she will do anything as to this affair not to come out. And then at one point Nick Cage is like, yeah, I kind of knew anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's... Honestly, it's 90 minutes. It's Joel Schumacher just kind of doing Joel Schumacher-y things. It's 90 minutes. It feels like it's 2 and a bit hours long, but not in a bad way. Just there's a lot to trough on in this movie. I really enjoyed it, but it's a 3 out of 5 movie. But it's a fucking fun time.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it very much is. They wound Nick Cage up and then fucking just pushed him into every scene. And there's a lot of wait, and then you're going, he's not going to say anything.
Yeah.
It's
you just scared the cat with your Nick Cage impression.
Nick Caging, yeah. I also fit another fucking movie.
Gosh.
Done a lot this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been toying with the idea of rewatching this. I haven't because it doesn't have Dash Mihawk in it for a while. But I decided to give it a go. So I rewatched The Descendants. That was an Payne movie.
Some whiplash.
That came out around about the same time as Trespass.
That was your connective tissue, was it?
Yeah. So George Clooney, Shailene Woodley story about George Clooney's character. His wife is involved in a boating accident and basically she's in a coma and she's not going to come out of it. They're about to turn off the life support as per her instructions in her will, and she essentially will die within a couple of days of that. And him dealing with that, the fact that he quite frankly admits that he's not really being, he's not a bad dad, but he doesn't do the day-to-day bits with his kids. But also as well, he finds out at the same time as the reason why his daughter and his wife are estranged is because she knows that his wife was having an affair. And so he's got all of that to be dealing with, plus this weird property deal thing that's going on in the background as well at the same time that's happening. And yeah, I'm fairly certain this won Academy Award for Best Writing, I think. I'd have a look, but I can't actually find my phone at the moment. The cat's sat on it. Yeah, he is.
He likes sitting on phones.
So it won Best Screenplay, I'm fairly certain. Let me just double check to make sure I'm not talking absolute bobbins.
Props
there. But it was also nominated for a bunch of other ones. So, Oscar winner, yes. Best Writing Adapted Screenplay. And the thing is, as a written movie, it's really good.
Yeah.
The performances in it are really good. Clooney, at a few moments, becomes Cohen Clooney.
Okay.
A little bit. Which maybe isn't quite in keeping with that. The weird thing is, I think as a directed movie, and Payne's become a little bit of a mildly problematic character since.
Okay.
And from a directorial point of view, it's not very good at points. Like, it kind of goes to places sometimes where you're watching it where it tries to be sort of a little bit esoteric at points. And it kills the flow that the movie's on. Right. Also, there's a lot of, like, kids or teenagers that are doing that thing in certain movies where they're talking and you're going, none of the people around this have ever met a child.
Yeah. Because
kids do not talk like that. And there's bits going on there. I'll say this, it's the fact that Shailene Woodley is barely wearing anything throughout the entirety of it gets a little bit, this feels a little bit weird now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
There's a lot
because it's kind of like part of her character, isn't it? But at the same time, it's a bit.
Yeah, it's a bit.
Yeah, Alexander Payne. I bet you fucking liked shooting those scenes.
Yeah, she doesn't need to be in a bikini all of the time. However, what I will say is, I can absolutely go back and look at this, see why Shailene Woodley was being hailed as she is the next fucking superstar. She is fucking brilliant in this movie.
Right.
Yeah, it is. She's fantastic. So I was a little bit worried thinking, is it going to be one of those things where everyone thought she was going to be great? And then you go back and look at it and go, right, yeah, not seeing it. No, there's bits where her and Clooney are riffing off each other. And it's like, she's not only holding her own with Clooney, she's a little bit ahead of him in this. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It's a very good film, but things like, it's set in Hawaii, so it has to have that soundtrack, just feel a little bit like, really? And yeah, you felt a little bit like, it felt a little bit leery at points of that, and that's me feeling that some things feels a little bit leery. So Christ knows what people who have morals think. But yeah, I must say I did enjoy it, and I can see why it won an Academy Award for its writing, because as a written film, it's very, very good.
I'm guessing it didn't hurt that Judy Greer was in it either.
She's very good in the few little bits that she has in it, and Matthew Lillard's very good in it. In the bits that he has.
Matthew Lillard's in it.
Yeah, well, he plays the guy who his wife was having an affair with, that he tracks down. And the Clooney bit within that, where they essentially confront him, is really good. And I get, there's a whole honourable thing towards it, and it's got... but I enjoyed it, but it has its flaws.
Yeah.
Judy Greer's one where I could do a little bit of a mini-series, but it would just be like Ian watching Judy Greer and mentally masturbating. So I don't know how fun it would be.
The inappropriateness of Judy Greer.
Yeah, the inappropriateness of Ian Loring.
Yeah.
There's some good films in that though.
I mean, she played Andy Serkis's wife in the second two Apes films.
Yeah.
And you get to watch 13 going on 30.
And that. But no, I mean, she literally, and I love this, she did that role because her husband is a massive fan of Planet of the Apes, and she just thought it'd be really nice.
Yeah.
But isn't that just very sweet, though? It is all seriousness. That's
Greer.
very nice.
Yeah, it is very... It just seems like a very Judy Greer thing to do.
Like, no history with motion capture, But fuck it, it's something nice for my husband.
Yep. That's what I've watched this week. That's what we've all watched this week. Shall we TED talk?
Sure.
Oh,
Out of base.
sorry.
Yeah. So, remember all spoilers all the time, guys. So if you have not watched the last episodes of Ted Lasso, it's about to get spoiled quite heavily. So, Ian, what did you think of the last episode of Ted Lasso?
Bex, what did you think of the last episode of Ted Lasso?
Just absolutely fuck that guy. The fact that they let him back into like the Diamond Dogs as well, it's just like, just fuck off, Nate, you cunt. I wish he'd just died.
I'm not, especially with that thing that. Did you guys see the Apple TV tweet? Yeah, no, yeah, Mark, you did. Yeah. I put it in the boy chat. Yeah, but the fact that it looks like Nate is going to continue being there, I'm just like, I'm not thrilled about that. Like, because what's going to happen? He's going to have some tactical suggestions, and Roy's going to use that. But what's his arc?
That's it. There can't be an arc. It just has to be.
He's there.
They kind of have to just kind of move swiftly along from it, don't they? They kind of have to just.
The thing is, what they should have done is have his arc be, you know, nobody guy that just works as like the kit man for the club. No one really talks to him. Blah blah blah. Is shown kindness by Ted. Blossoms. Leaves on good terms. Realises that he misses the community of working at Richmond because it's the people, not the place or the position, and comes back. Why make him such a nasty piece of work and then have him just accept him back?
He's too. It's almost too good a performance. Do you know what though? I am very much like. Do you know what? If that's the pill I have to swallow to have Richmond AFC, I'm fine with it.
But it just. The thing, you don't, you don't have to swallow it though. There are plenty of other characters, and it's have him manage another team and guest star every now and then, you know, and like not be a cunt, be a friendly face or something like that. That, you know, that would be fine. But for him just to immediately revert back to,
I mean, the job is going at Celtic.
Sorry?
The job is going at Celtic.
I mean, absolutely, yeah, but no, I mean, in all seriousness, he was, and I get that it's Ted Lasso, it's a series not set in reality. He managed West Ham, and now he's, you know, okay, he's comfortable where he is, he's happy where he is, and you know, that cool. There's almost a part of me where it's like it would be more realistic at the very least to have Coach Beard actually leave and him just be assistant to Roy. And I wouldn't want that. I'm glad Coach Beard's there. It feels so fucking weird that he's suddenly just gone to, yeah, I'm happy where I am. I'm Nate and I'm friendly and I'm going to put more money in the box. You know, the arc for him is going to be real fucking difficult in what I swear to fucking God is going to be called AFC Richmond.
Yeah. Yeah, they are going to struggle with that.
But sorry, Bex. I mean, I did throw to you. What did you think of the rest of it aside from Nate?
Oh, the rest of it's great. It's been my only issue really with this. I don't know. It's clearly been a transitional season for Ted Lasso because they've clearly just been trying to build to be able to do what they're doing next, and it has felt like that. I think it's been a weak season overall. I think the Jamie and Roy stuff has been great. But I think apart from that, not so good. I don't think they've really utilised Rebecca as well as they could. I think they've fumbled the ball with Keely's storyline. I think the Nate stuff is just abhorrent. I think there's not been enough Ted. I think there's probably been too much Coach Beard and his weird kinky fucking sex life. And it feels... It's felt scrappy to me, the entire season. But there's been really, really good standout moments. They've mainly been built about Roy and Jamie.
But I mean, the thing is, as much as I'm complaining about Nate, I thought that just the simple him just breaking down in tears and like saying "I'm so sorry, Ted" and hugging him, and Ted just being, it was just like to be like they've kind of, and if that was you got that, and then they've got them doing Nate's play at the end of the game and whatnot, and having Nate have that moment of triumph, and then that's him for the show. Great, but anyway, I'm talking about Nate too much. I like the fact that Rebecca sold like 49% of the club to the fans, and now maybe we could get some like fan characters kind of involved, like more involved in it all as well. Like I feel like AFC Richmond is going to start in a really, really strong place with like probably like Roy and Keeley and Rebecca as the leads. And then we'll see what happens with everybody else. And obviously you can get some new players in, you can build up some new characters through that. There's definitely development there. The Ted stuff, it's just the fact that it's been so fucking obvious from the very start of this season that he's going to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like they've been really like, oh well, maybe not. No. I mean, it is obvious because it's kind of mirroring Jason Sudeikis' real life, where he's having such a fucking acrimonious split from Olivia Wilde that shit's playing out very, very publicly, and he probably wants to get back for his kids.
That's one of the things he said, hasn't he? That he's really enjoyed his living in the UK, but he needs to get back home now. But I mean, just all the real life stuff's kind of blurred into that, into making it so obvious. And now you can have Ted FaceTime, like plenty. There's going to be. I don't think it'll be. If this show does happen, I don't think it'll be the first episode.
No, it won't. But it'll be in the season.
I think by episode 2 or 3, they'll FaceTime in, but it won't be. It'll be for a Diamond Dogs meeting.
Yeah.
That's That's what it's going to be. Diamond Dogs and him talking to Rebecca if she needs to talk to someone and have an emotional moment.
Yeah, and there'll be bits of that because he said, hasn't he, that the character that it had to come to an end and this was the right end. He said, but I'm not saying that that the moustache is getting shaved off and never getting grown back again. He said, but it will be the last season of Ted Lasso.
Am I correct in thinking in the flash forward, Doc's back working for the club, isn't she? Yeah.
But I just, it's a very warm hug of a TV show. It's a bit of a force for good, and I think that there's points within the show where, because the TV shows that I'm used to watching, and there's not many of them, often have a real fucking gut punch. I think I've still got some kind of Sons of Anarchy PTSD.
Oh, okay.
Not just the general, like that last series of Sons of Anarchy, which is just, it's miserable.
It's magnificent.
It's brilliant, but it's just,
it's a slog.
It is just 50 minutes of misery.
Yeah.
For like the 10 weeks that it was on. It was brilliant, but it was like that. That anytime something nice is happening in a TV show, now my brain just goes, right, compute, what is the worst thing that can happen now? And it thinks that that's going to happen. And the brilliant thing that Ted Lasso has done is those things don't necessarily happen now. I thought it was emotional. I didn't expect to be in a quivering mess by the end of it. A massive avocado. But
and I mean, like a lot. Sorry,
but like the moment where they all start getting bits of the Believe sign out.
Oh God, yeah.
Was just you watching going, oh shit, this is fucking you bastards.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know, we were talking last week about how shitty people have been about it. It's like, right, okay, Ted Lasso's over now. If you're being shitty about it, that's cool. Just disconnect now. You know, that's absolutely fine. Let's have AFC Richmond or whatever it's going to be called, and the people who want to watch that. To be fair, I hope that the first season of AFC Richmond feels more put together than this season of Ted Lasso has.
Yeah.
But like, they had a lot of production troubles with this, and it was going through like constant rewrites, and the whole it's streaming so the episodes can be as long as you want kind of thing, I think kind of meant that they just went with let's just chuck everything in. But you look at Keely's relationship with Jack, like that was just a really weird. Well, that happened and then it stopped.
Yeah, like they decided very quickly. Right, this doesn't work. Abort right now. Poochie needs to go back to her home planet.
Yeah. But the thing is, they must have known it wasn't going to work. People don't want that. People want Keely back together with Roy. Surely. Because they were fucking goals.
But, there is maybe a little bit of a sense that is there going to be a bit of, well, Jamie's kind of still in the picture there with this? Because, obviously they had that fight and they were like, right, which one of us is going to be with you? And she's like, I get to choose, which I thought was a great moment.
Yeah.
But in the next season, when she gets with one of them, it is going to rather invalidate that.
Yeah, I do think they're toying with the idea of it being a throuple.
I don't think Tim Cook would like that very much.
No,
but yeah,
I do think they're going to play around that idea. I think you can get another series out of a what the fuck's going on there.
I don't know, I think that'd get really boring. Will they, won't they? It's always a bit boring.
Yeah.
I just to say, I did like. Was it this episode where it was like Roy dropped his niece off at school, and then that teacher that he flirted
that
with
was a couple of episodes back?
Was it? No, sorry. It's just I liked that moment where it's like she was in the second season or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's like she said that like really awkward thing, and then what did she call herself? Because Donna enjoyed what she called herself.
I can't remember, but she basically obviously flirts with him, doesn't she?
In Ted Lasso, that teacher who cracked onto Roy Kent, and she called herself something. But you liked you. I remember you laughing at that quite a bit, though. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. But yeah. Look, it just there's real promise, and if it's like Brett Goldstein leading the writers' room and whatnot, that would be. That would be great. I hope that there's a little bit more UK influence in the writing there, because I feel like those who have been the UK who have been there have had their say, and I think it's interesting that like Keely Hazel, who former Page 3 model, I think, who plays Rupert's wife in this.
Yeah, current wife.
Is a staff writer on the show.
Yeah.
And she co-wrote that episode was about the sex tape being leaked. I think that kind of very UK kind of like centric stuff, but also just kind of like maybe more savvy knowledge of football would be handy.
Yeah, definitely.
But with that American feel good kind of aspect as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's been frustrating this season.
I mean, the fun thing is you've got Ted back in America, and Zava's come out of retirement, hasn't he?
Yeah.
To play in America.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
Did he? I didn't notice that. Oh, that's funny.
It's apparently when Ted is picking up the newspaper and the Beano from the airport, there's a copy of 442 next to it.
Oh, right.
Which is Zava on the front of it, and it announces that he's come out of retirement to go and play in I think in Miami, because they really love avocados down there.
Nice. I wonder what they're going to do with the Rebecca hot pilot guy, Sam.
Well, that's obviously going to be something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's quite hot, though, that pilot dude, and he lives on a fucking boat, and he's real chill.
And that's the thing. You've got
And
all these...
he's got a young kid, and she's been having the whole...
Yeah, and the psychic told her she was going to have a child.
Yeah.
That's the thing, there's threads. And it just... Sorry, going back to the Zava thing, it just makes me laugh that, like, this is in, maybe ever so slight tangent here, but, to be fair, the show's running pretty short. The fact that we're talking about this in the same week that Zlatan has announced his retirement.
Yeah.
Kind of thought he might go to the MLS or something, to be fair, but
did,
no. Sorry?
He did.
Oh, no. No, hang on. Yeah, he did. What am I chatting about?
He did LA Galaxy, and then basically said that he was just too good for it, and it was too easy, so he wanted to go back to European football.
That's right. But yeah, and then he went... Because who's he been
Milan.
playing for? Fuck. AC Milan. Yeah. I kept on having PSG in my mind. I was like, I know that's wrong.
But he did. He was at PSG, then went to United, then went to LA Galaxy, then went back to AC Milan. But it's just the rumour is the knee injury that he's had. He's been told that look, you can come back and play, but the next time it might be that there's longer term problems, and he's very much like, do you know what? I want to retire as Zlatan, still the top of my game, even though he's not, but he's still pretty close, and he just wants to spend some time with his kids.
But then the thing is, you know that motherfucker ain't getting doughy. Like he's like the Cristiano, you know, like he's going to be as svelte 20 years from now as he is now. You know, he's like, and he's going to be fine with his commercial stuff. But then also like Messi, it looks like he's going to sign for Inter Milan.
Yeah, it's almost confirmed now. Yeah,
which is, you know, last week sacked Phil Neville.
Because he was dangerous to the brand.
I mean, it's fucking incredible.
Because he kept being a prick. It's literally apparently the insider word.
Yeah, he swore at a reporter, didn't he?
He has got a reporter for basically just asking a perfectly reasonable question, and he is just... But anything you hear about Phil Neville is that he is a bit of a dickhead and just should not be anywhere. Yeah. I mean, a man who had that much of a commitment in his life to frosted tips should not be anywhere near anything.
I'm kind of really tempted to get into MLS because it's just a fucking weird playground.
Do you know what? I am... The Messi going to... And a very small tangent here. The Messi going into Miami, it was always going to happen. He was always going to go to Beckham's club in the US at some point. The Adidas connections there, you know, there's a big deal with Adidas and a big deal with Apple TV are involved in it, as well.
Like Apple TV have like said that they'll give him a share of the season pass thing that they offer.
Yeah.
And I get it, but it's wild.
It's bonkers. All I'm going to say on it, though, is there's a part of me, the romanticism in me of football, and no matter what, football for people who love football, and I am somebody who loves football and is falling out hard of love with football. Still love football and falling out hard of love with everything that goes on around football. The romanticism of it wants him to have gone back to Barcelona. But also, fuck Barcelona. They're a boring piece of shit.
Yeah.
So the in Miami thing, it kind of... I'm alright with that. Mainly because at least he isn't going to the fucking Saudi League.
Yep.
You know, he's looked at it and gone, do you know what? I've got a lot of money. This deal's been worth a lot of money. No, I don't get me wrong. Fucking Messi has some questionable sponsorship fucking deals. But he could quite easily have gone to Saudi, played the Saudi League for 2 years and made close to... I think if he'd have said, do you know what? Yeah, I will come, but it's $1 billion a season. They'd have gone, alright. Alright, yeah. and he could have made $1 billion a year doing it, but either something there has gone, nah, it don't feel right. I don't want to spend the next few years having to answer these questions in the interviews that I never do.
Because I mean, that's the thing. It's like Zlatan is a character, but you feel like he never would have gone with the Saudis because he'd have been like, I'm a fucking shark in a fish tank.
Yeah. He likes to talk too much, and if somebody would have said to him, right, but you're only here for the money, he'd have been a little bit like, no. He's not. He didn't go to the MLS for the money. He went because he wanted to live in LA for a couple of years. And he was very much adamant of that, I've conquered Europe, I want to go here, conquer that, I want to conquer America, and yeah, it sounds nice living in LA with my wife and my kids for a couple of years.
It's fascinating. Back to Ted Lasso, but again, like the Sava thing, it's like this 2-3 episode arc that just goes nowhere. He just
retired.
It's like, yeah, and it's just like he's not in that episode, and it's just like boom, he's gone.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It was like they went right. Got this great idea about them essentially sniping a transfer and all this lot, and then they've gone, shit, we've got this guy here now and we can't actually get rid of him. Yeah, it was, yeah.
Even I talk about the how unrealistic Ted Lasso is. I just remembered that West Ham could potentially be a couple of hours away from winning a European trophy tonight.
It's odd in the sense that a part of me I really don't want West Ham and their troublesome fans to be happy. But also there's a part of me that goes, and I also don't want David Moyes to be happy because nobody wants David Moyes to be happy.
Yeah.
But there's a part of me that goes, do you know fucking what though? Why not? It's West Ham have a few players there. I mean, they also have that cat kicker, but I don't want him to be happy either. But they have a few players there that I'm kind of alright with being happy. And they also do have some alright fans that I'm alright with being happy. So,
I mean, I don't know.
Let's face it, Fiorentina, they once released a kit that had a swastika in it. So
I don't really have a problem with West Ham fans. I don't think I'd want to meet them in a dark alley at night, but they're passionate and they don't necessarily seem like they're all National Front members.
No, the problem is that they have a vocal, and unfortunately I think the idea when people say, oh, it's a minority, that minority seems to get bigger a lot of the time with certain clubs. But then again, there's a guy who does one of the football podcasts I listen to, that is club centric, but they get on guests to talk about and do season reviews for their clubs. And then I was listening to the guy from the West Ham one today previewing this game, and so I've listened to this guy numerous times throughout the year, and he just seems like a lovely guy, and he's talking about it, and he very much is accepting of the fact that his club isn't always perfect and can be quite critical of his own fan base. But he's like, but you know what? I'm really looking forward to it. I hope we win something because it'd just be quite nice. I quite enjoy it. And I'm kind of going, do you know what? I hope they do win it because that guy seems like a nice guy. And the guys that he talks about going to the game with all seem like nice guys.
And I take it that if they win the Europa Conference League, it means they're just in the Europa League next year.
I think actually they just get into the Europa Conference League again.
That's fucking shit, though. If that's the case, that's a bit.
I'm not sure.
Because the Europa League winners get into the playoffs for the Champions League, don't they?
I'll check that. I'm just going to check it. If you win the Europa Conference. Oh, not Europa League, yeah, they do.
Yeah, okay. Alright, okay, that's good. And it did make me laugh. Like the rope. So we finished recording last no, we didn't. I finished watching Ted Lasso last Wednesday. Donna went to bed and I stuck on the Europa League final, and fuck me. I mean, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Just like, but I mean, I say that's hilarious, but also it's really dangerous because obviously then the fucking ref and his daughter got confronted in the fucking airport, and
it was bang out of order.
Mourinho, I almost feel like Mourinho needs a fucking sanction for shit like that.
The thing is, he knew what he was doing, and he does this. He's done this a lot, and I've had. I think I even remember saying on the podcast about the fact that that when United got Mourinho, I was angry about it. And I remember saying on the podcast, and it wasn't because I thought they'd be good with Mourinho or anything like that. I was very much of, you're better than that. You're a classier operation than that fucking guy. Because that's the problem. He's not... The idea is, he's box office, he's great for things. He's a prick. He is a child who cannot stand losing. Great quality in a manager, but the problem is you've got to deal with the fallout of when they don't win, and he almost on a psychological level, his narcissism and his ego cannot allow him to acknowledge that, not even that he got beat or that he did something wrong or anything like that football has two teams, so the other team are trying to win. So it isn't necessarily that you got anything wrong. It's just the other guy might have got things more right than you, and that's it. It was incredibly Mourinho-y, the thing that happened, but it was unfortunate then what happened to Anthony Taylor.
Yeah, too right. And sorry for the noise.
And hopefully that does make. There's a balance that needs to be fucking struck, and again, football chat, which is something I could fucking really fucking monologue on. There's a balance that needs to be struck in this country in terms of our officials. They're not very good. There's no getting away from that. They're not. They make mistakes frequently, and the thing is, it's okay to make a mistake in your profession. People make these mistakes. It's the fact that they belligerently will not own up to these mistakes, and the PGMOL will just back them up no matter what, rather than going, well, actually, do you know what? There was this. And there is a whole referees union joke, but it's true. But hopefully it will cause them to have a little bit of, right, we need to look at the way that we act, because too many of them are trying to be the centre of attention, rather than, if a ball hits a referee, the referee is technically supposed to be part of the field. And they've changed that now, but it's too many of them have developed a personality and go to speaking engagements and all of these things and have are already looking at and going, I need to look at what I'm going to do when I retire from refereeing as a career. You know, one of them is going to end up very soon on I'm a Celebrity or fucking Strictly Come Dancing or something like that. You know, wouldn't surprise me if Mike Dean ends up on this year's Strictly Come Dancing. They need to fucking chill the fuck out on that. But, and I include the manager of my own club, they need to chill the fuck out on how the referees are approached. There needs to be a bit of a sit down of, right, we need to draw a little line under this. You guys need to stop being pricks, and we need to stop being pricks.
Yeah. But
also, as well, at the same time, the media need to stop with the fucking whole, well, you know what, this gets down to grassroots. I played grassroots football 30 fucking years ago before Sky existed, and dads were calling referees cunts back then. It ain't a new thing. I got punched by a kid's dad once. So dads being arseholes isn't because fucking Mourinho's been an arsehole.
No, quite. I feel like we need to talk to Jord about whether we need to instigate some football bastards.
We do. It'd just be right. Me and Jordan would go somewhere while fucking Mark monologues for 3 hours about fucking corners.
And you can Skype me in, and I'll just be like, "Yep,
yeah.
I'm very nearly at the point where I think I might get a season ticket for Cardiff next year, so I can talk about that.
Do you know what? I contemplated it for a moment, getting one for Hull, because I'm fairly close to Hull, and I just thought, it'll be one of those things where I'll go, and then I'll stop going a little bit, and then I'll stop going, and then I'll just end up giving my ticket to somebody else.
I don't know.
It's I barely have the mental exhaustion supporting my main club, the club that I have. It is almost too much for me nowadays. That adding like a minor secondary club into it isn't there. I'm enjoying kind of following Stockport a little bit there through Noel.
I'm 100% doing that next season. I am going to attend at least one Stockport game. I feel like you, me, and Noel just need to do that with Charlie, all in, and Bex. If Bex, you want to come all in one fell swoop,
in the kitchen doing something. I'm not sure, but that's it. But I could see me doing 3 or 4 games this coming season there. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, there's a whole. I am going through a bit of a crisis with football at the moment. and it's kind of like I almost feel like I need to go see a therapist about it.
I feel like lower division will like potentially be the cure for that.
It might be, because the fact of the matter is what is happening at the moment with the Saudi League, and this is going to sound like I am having just a go at the Saudi involvement in football, and do you know what? I fucking am. What's going on with the Saudi League, and then you've got the whole golf thing at the moment, the PGA and Live golf thing that's going on, and then what's happened with Newcastle. The fact that I have a friend who has been constantly gloating about Newcastle's season all season, whilst also this weekend going on about how much he enjoys every year Pride, and I'm like, oh my god, fucking hell. It's the horrible thing is, all this is proving is sports washing works. It does. It works. It works. We had a World Cup in Qatar. We have.
Where's the golf? Yeah.
Right. There is. I'm going to say something, and it's going to sound hyperbolic, but I don't fucking care. People who have the ability to instigate drone attacks should not own sports franchises.
Yeah. That doesn't necessarily sound hyperbolic.
Yeah, they just fucking shouldn't. It's so fucking depressing. It's so utterly depressing that it's mine and Becky's 24th anniversary last week and our 20th wedding anniversary, but the longest love affair I've had in my life that I will continue to have is with football, and right now I feel that it's kind of almost verging on the I can't do it anymore, but I also can't leave it. It's this weird quasi fucking abusive relationship I'm in with it.
I don't know. It's just I'm looking at the value of it at the moment. It's like the family stand at Cardiff, season ticket in the family stand for me and Lottie would be just under £300, and that's 23 home games, and then access to away and cup tickets. 23 home games at less than £300 a pop for the two of us.
So that's for both of you.
Yeah.
So that's 23 home games.
23 championship home games, yeah.
And that's for both of you. So that's like what?
240 night. So it's
Each?
£249 for an adult ticket, £49 for under 16s in the family stand, which is where I'd want to be with her because, you know, hopefully swearing will be at a minimum.
Yeah. Maybe not, but yeah.
But yeah, like free. So like it's basically £298 divided by 23 quid. That's less than £15
About
a
13
ticket
summer. Yeah,
for the
it's like
two of us.
$6.50 each. That's fucking insane.
You know what I mean? Like that. And like the thing is, I think maybe Lottie wouldn't go to every single one of those. But if it's just you don't have to have a name on the ticket, it's just an under 16. I could take some like friends of the family or something. You know what I mean?
I think you can do like a transfer ticket thing. So I think you can, like, as long as like you've nominated them before a certain time, you can take them. But I'm not sure how even strict that is in that league.
But it's like even like if I attended like every single one of them by myself, but I paid for lots and she decided not to go, I'd get a spare seat next to me, which would be handy. But you know, it's.
I've been at football games on my own before, and I really enjoy it. It's
yeah, and I mean that's the thing. It's like, you know, if like I've got a ticket next to the same person every single fucking time, I'd probably just chat to them or chat to the people around. You know, so
I used to years ago when I used to do training bits. When I was at Carthel Warehouse, it used to be we used to get put up in a hotel across the road from Molyneux. Literally right across from Molyneux, and like you could see it, and so occasionally I could then go. I'd literally just wander across to Molyneux if there was a game on, and just go up to the turnstile and go, "Can I have one ticket, please?" Because Wolves were in the Championship now at the time, and it'd be very rare it'd be sold out, and I'd go and just sit and just go and watch Wolves for the night, and it was always, it's. Watching a live football match is always a good time. You know, it's an experience. It's a thing that's there, and you know, the bigger the crowd to an extent, the better. I've been in like crowds where it's been like 88,000, 90,000 people, and sometimes that can feel a little bit cold. But yeah, I enjoyed that rather tangent there. You're back in the room, aren't you now, Bex?
It sounded like you were wrapping up on football, so I thought it was safe.
We were. Should we get to questions?
Sure.
Yeah? What do you think of?
Do questions?
Yes, so. Rick Kidd. A film called Becky drops on Netflix tomorrow. It's about a rebellious teen who fights off a home invasion. If you were making a film with your own name as the title, what would be the story you would tell?
A man who is fucking fuming about the fact that he wanted to be called Magic Ian and then discovers that if you put them together, they're magician. He never realised that and then goes on a killing spree.
Wow.
That's pretty fucking good. That's like the Sweden-Denmark thing, isn't it?
Sweden-Denmark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good, that. I'd watch the shit out of that. Becky, what is yours?
I've already got one. The film Becky.
No, you can't just cheat.
I know, I wouldn't do well in that.
No, you won't.
I'm not good with home invasion. Frightens the life out of me. And Mark, right? You know those people that just like are shit at stuff, and one of the things they're shit at is locking doors? Mark. And I'm here terrified of fucking home invasion. It's not a good combo, really, is it?
You put the magic ball in front of the door the other day because you couldn't find your key.
No, my key was outside in the car, and your key was upstairs in your stupid bag, and I couldn't disturb you because you were at work at like 3 a.m.
Yeah, you in your stupid bag.
Yeah. So you should have locked it before you went to bed.
I thought it was my fault.
Yeah. I'd want to be in a zombie apocalypse movie.
Called Becky.
Sure. Maybe I'm the head zombie.
Does it have to be about you?
No. Yeah. No. Yeah. I reckon.
So mine's just called Mark.
Yeah.
It's a zany comedy where you trick me by blindfolding me to go on like a really nice holiday anything, and then you trick me to get me on a cruise.
Oh my god, I'm definitely.
But I'm already on the cruise, like I've been blindfolded and I don't know I'm on a fucking boat.
How?
And you literally, a part of it is you walking along with me in a blindfold with you holding a sign saying he doesn't know we're on a boat, don't say boat or cruise.
Do you know what? This is legitimately a plan that I cooked up in my head a few years ago for if I ever wanted to go on a cruise. I was going to drug you and take you on the boat and then not let you wake up until we were out at sea.
I don't think I'd handle that well.
I think it'd be funny though, don't you?
We do have another question. Dylan Black Lanterns. It's been 6 years since the Dark Universe was announced. Discuss.
See, I like Tom Cruise now, but I mean, really, fucked it, didn't he? The thing is, what they should have done is retrospectively wrapped up the Mummy movies into the Dark Universe franchise and built it from there.
I think now they maybe would have.
With that kind of tone.
Yeah.
Whereas they've tried to make it this real serious, actiony, fucking whatever the fuck. And it doesn't work. Like, the old school monsters like that, the Mummy, the Invisible Man, Frankenstein, all that kind of stuff, they are a little bit silly. And they're not hugely scary to modern audiences.
No,
so tonally keeping it like the Mummy movies, where it's like the people are scared but the audience aren't really, and it's just an adventure movie.
There is an addendum to that question as well, saying, or maybe what were the lessons learned, and what would you still want to actually see?
I'd want to see all of them. I think it'd be great if they did it properly and realised that they've got to be a little bit daft.
Do you know what? Why not? Instead of trying to do them as a universe, just do them as doing as films. Just get a certain director in to do them as films.
Like a loose universe rather than a really interconnected one. Because the stories aren't really interconnected anyway.
No.
So I do think it's a real shame. The Mummy movie with Tom Cruise is... I mean, it's objectively bad.
I disagree because it's got Russell Crowe playing Jekyll and Hyde, and that I'd watch the shit out of that.
I just don't think, and I feel I mean it's a long time since I watched it, and I won't be going in for a rewatch. But I feel like I seem to remember it feeling like everybody in the film thought they were in a different kind of film.
Yeah, it was collectively all over the place.
Yeah, I do think it's a shame though.
Ian?
The Dark Universe. It was a time. It was a time.
A little bit too much hubris, I think, was around it.
Yeah. The thing is, Universal had been looking to do that shit for fucking years, hadn't they? So, like, the Mummy came out and then it was a hit, and they were like, well, we could do Van Helsing. And then it kind of span out from there. But it always... It felt... It's funny, I use this phrase quite a lot in work at the moment, but it's a solution that's looking for a problem, where it's like, are people actually asking for this? You know, like, okay, we're going to bring all these things together, but first off, you've got to kind of like build why people would want these things to be together in the first place. You know, it's... like the MCU obviously did it the right way and, you know, built out the characters, didn't necessarily assume right away people would want an Avengers film, see how it goes, tease it, blah, blah, blah. And then DC are just like, we're going to do this and we're going to do this. Like, you know, it's going to be a Flash film, it's going to be a Cyborg film, blah, 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 blah. With the Dark Universe, they released that stupid Photoshop photo. and it's just like, right, we're going to do all of these. And at some point, they're all going to meet up. It's
like that. It's that thing of rather than growing something organically, they wanted to have 6 movies just instantly.
Yeah. So it's the here's the end result. Well, what the fuck do we do building up to this? Yeah. And that you know that's been the problem, and you know, and then Universal will kind of like turn things around. Okay, we're going to do Renfield. Then that did fuck all commercially, you know, and now it's, well, what do? We've got that Wolfman with Derek Cianfrance, who's supposed to be directing it, Ryan Gosling starring. Where the hell's that?
That's not happening.
No, yeah, exactly. You know, it was. But the thing is, as much as we take the piss out of the Dark Universe, it was ballsy.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise, Javier Bardem, Angelina Jolie, Russell Crowe. You know, like there was some big talent there, but then also The Mummy was just such a toxic disaster. Hubris is it's hubris, pure hubris, like you said.
They got everybody involved when they were at a downward trajectory in their careers. I don't think that if now they approached Cruise or Crowe for those things now, they'd be like, do you know what? I'm alright in the fucking lane I'm in right now. Was at a time I think it was post Oblivion, and Oblivion, very good film, but he had a couple of bombs in comparison to what he was used to. Crowe was kind of just fiddling about and not kind of finding himself. Angelina Jolie just wanted some fucking money because she hadn't done anything for a while. And the same, Depp was just signing on to anything. Well, we asked the question. Our question for this week is pick your filmmaker's dream team and genre style of the film they'd be making. So I was looking for director, DOP, writer, composer, a main actor 2, and a character actor. We'll get one response to this. I was hoping we'd get more on this one. I thought we might do it because we branched out a little bit. But then again, maybe just like the fact that I put it out really early in the morning was not the best of ideas. So Rick Kidd said Denis Villeneuve, DOP, Roger Deakins, writer, Taylor Sheridan, composer, Ludwig Göransson, main actor, Michael Fassbender and Cate Blanchett, character actor, Amy Adams. And it's a cyberpunk neo-noir in a dystopian future. I mean, I could see that happening, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'd watch it. Ian,
yeah.
Go, what's yours?
Too complex a question, I'm sorry.
Is it too much? Is there too many layers?
I don't see these. I don't see these questions before we record. So like that one where I just like rattled it off about Magic Ian, like literally I just fucking rattled that off. But this one, there's too much. Also, it's been confirmed Messi's going into Milan.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry.
We've also. Have you seen the Brian Harvey shouting at the courthouse?
Yep. Yep. He thinks he can help Prince Harry. Good on him.
For any listeners who don't know who Brian Harvey is, right? He's a pop star from like the early 90s, a terrible pop star from the early 90s. But please, for the love of God, everybody, just Google Brian Harvey car accident. It's funny. It's not horrific or anything like that. It's just funny. I genuinely hope there's people out there who don't know what I'm talking about and now go, alright, but oh wow. What are we covering next week, Ian?
Okay, so we are going to watch those beasts rise.
Yep.
Is Becky going to watch the beasts rise?
I don't know. She's had to go back into the kitchen. Bex? Yeah? Are you going to watch Beasts Rise?
Oh, if you do.
Yes. She is.
Okay. So, I'm going to watch some Beasts Rise. Hopefully, we might watch a Man Boogie, but we'll see.
Yep.
And, yeah, I think that's going to be it.
Yeah. Oh, well. I enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed it, listeners. We thank you very much. Becky has gone off and she's put dinner in earlier and it needs bits doing.
Bye!
So she's shouting bye from the kitchen. Thank you very much, Ian.
Thank you very much, Mark.
And thank you very much, listeners. We shall speak to you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.